Hey everybody, welcome to the Tuman Show. Today we're looking at the daily. Basically wanted to give a 1 year update. It's been a little bit more than a year, about 16 months since I've had the car. And I wanted to give you guys a rundown, how am I enjoying this thing? If you know anything about my channel, I go through cars pretty quick, so the fact that this made beyond 1 year is a testament to the car. I hate to break it to you, I know you guys are going to be disappointed, but I'm not selling the car. I am going to keep it. It's been a great car. I just changed the oil on it. It's the only maintenance I've done besides tires in the 15 months. And the oil is probably like an annual thing. The car is pretty good about letting me know when it needs it. The oil change was about $60, $70, only because I bought the fancy BMW oil twin power, I think it said on the label, or twin turbo power. Twin turbo for this guy. It's 0W30, 3 quarts, tiny filter, fairly easy oil change in most cases. Everything's accessible from the bottom, but whoever did this last, I'm assuming it was a BMW dealership, they torqued it like an animal. And that's one of the reasons why I didn't do this at the exact 1 year mark when I had planned to do it in December. You can see here how on this side, it's just ruined. I had to get it out by some means possible, so I smashed in a Torx bit, I think it was. Going off on a tangent, because the only frustrating thing for this car has been that oil change. And that's because some idiot torqued it down too much. It really doesn't need a lot of torque, just a little bit by hand, you feel it out and you're good. You don't use an impact on it or whatever they were doing. Anyways, tangent done. This car's been great. I charged it at work, which is not the cheapest option, but it's by far not the most expensive option. I charged it up today. I basically ran the battery to the flat bar. So the Rex had to kick on, the range extender had to kick on. And it cost me $9 to fill it up to get another 120-ish miles of range. I am picky and choosy when I want to use the range extender. I generally don't let it turn on its own when it gets to a dead battery. If I know I'm going to be doing longer trips, or if I want to conserve the battery a little bit, I have the hold state of charge function unlocked on my shortcut screen, and I'll kick it on at like half battery or 25% battery and just extend the life of the battery and throw another gallon of gas in when I feel like it, if I need to. It's been a great car, and it's only been a great car because I have the options that are needed to have an electric car. There's this huge push. I won't get into it. I'm not a journalist, but it's 2023, and in 7 years, California, where I live, wants everybody, no, I shouldn't say it that way. That's what they want you to do. California will only be selling new electric cars. That's 7 years from now. I don't know how many cars I'm gonna go through in the next 7 years. If this is still here in 7 years, that is a miracle and a huge testament to the i3 and the BMW, that it was misunderstood when they put it out, or maybe it was overpriced when it came out, but it's been a great value. I know several people that have wanted one, that have driven it, and have bought one because of my experience, which, who knew? People would take my advice. Yikes. So, what am I trying to say? I'm at 34 or 36,000 miles now, and I think about it at 24 or 26,000 miles, right around there. So let's say 10,000 miles in about 15 months. Not driving it that much, but it's my city car. I drive it all over town. I drive it all over LA. I haven't taken it very far. It's been my city car. If there's longer trips, and the longer trips generally require wife and kid. They don't require it, but generally if I'm going on a longer trip, it's with the wife and kid. We have the Jeep for that. It's a gas guzzler. I paid an insane amount of money on gasoline for that car, but it suits the car and the family and our needs perfectly. and everything else, this does it. I've hauled a ton of stuff with this car. You wouldn't believe it. I've managed to get 4 18-inch wheels. They might have been 19s, but 4 gigantic wheels for my brother's Boxster. And I've also managed to get 6 17-inch wheels for another Porsche. Nothing for myself. I do have 4 new tires here that I'm going to be putting on here shortly. All my canyon runs that I did last year took a beating on these things, and these tires were never meant for that. Speaking of tires, being that that's been the only real maintenance item that I've had to deal with, the tires, you have 2 options. These ones are EP 500, and then you have an EP 600. That's it. And what I've done is I did a 175 tire all the way around, which is not what BMW suggests, but I don't always listen to what BMW suggests. And I also switched to the EP 500 and not the 600. Normally you'd think the bigger number has more performance, but in this case, the lower number has the higher performance. But what kind of performance tire are we talking about out of 175? It's not an aggressive tire at all. But it is the better one of the 2. That's the one that I've chosen. I've squared up the stance. It helps to reduce the understeer a little bit. I really want to square up the wheels also to a 5.5-inch wheel all the way around. But you wouldn't think it, but these wheels are expensive. I almost bought one for $500 shipped. I might buy $1,000 for $2,000 worth of 2 wheels. I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me. That's not what this car is for. Will I do it? Maybe, because I'm dumb. If you know me, I'm dumb. Another tangent.